two are on the same side of the bracket, so we're just going to roll with it as we kick off and get into some games in the top left-hand corner of this highly anticipated round of 4 series. This is going to be our Blue Protoss player, MaxPax, taking on in the bottom right our red Terran player from Team Liquid. This is Clem. In one of our best of 3 series here in the semi-finals today. Again, good to see you all. Just drop by and tune in. After this, we've got a best of 5 final as well coming up, so we'll look forward to all of that. Have a couple gases come through. Rack starts up. Two gas means Clem might be a little bit more feisty in the early stages here on King's Cove. A big map as Clem earlier in that series against Showtime, I've got to say, was really quite heavily focused, I would say, on damage done early. Those tank pushes seem to be a pretty essential part of his play. See how that turns out as the SCV there nibbles, pushes the probe away. Cybercore coming up, orbital command coming through. And get that ready to go. Now Reaper starts up again, factory on the way through. Gonna have ourselves the probe continue to just wander about again. Next is coming online, we get this on the go. See how probe continues to set up as the factory comes in. The reactor comes about. CC is on the way up as well. We do have that adept just going to come down from MaxPax here, shade down for a couple of moments as the adept is going to go after the Reaper, and the Reaper will get turned away. So Reaper gets pushed back for a few moments, getting turned out of here right from the very get-go. We're just going to chill, and we do have our Hellion from Clem showing up. So going to be Hellion, 2 more Reapers, and that unit count will grow to try and put some damage on the other side again. Twilight Council about to finish, Gateway and Probe, Stalker and the Warp Gate all coming online as well. Starport still building here on the side of Clem. Now Reaper will take a couple shots off the Adept as it gets chased through the top side. And just going to sit around the top. The Adept going to shade, but goes too fast. The Reaper finds an escape route, hits a grenade, oh, but didn't hit the Adept upwards. It hit the Adept down, so it kept the Adept in position. Adept Shade here will guarantee the kill on the Reaper, and Clem will lose out on that unit. However, now the rest of the Reaper Hellion shows up, and he gets an Adept in return for this immediately, so that goes down. Now the Stalker going to be in a little bit of trouble as well. The Hellion will be taken out. Can we get any more units here? The Reaper low can try and stay away. The Adept Shade will commit, which means the Adept goes down. Hellion and a Reaper will struggle to kill a Stalker. As maybe we could, though. Am I crazy? Probe kills the Hellion. I actually think if he wanted the Stalker, he might have had a shot at it. Maybe with the second Stalker warping in, he wouldn't have. Interesting moment or two. 2 Reapers, 2 Hellions, go for 2 Adepts and a Probe. A little bit of chaos in the base of MaxPax. Back at home, Clem sets up for all of the aggression. Marine, Tank, Banshee. All of the units that deal a lot of damage, can be extremely good if they get in the right places. Let's see what they can do over the next few moments as this Reaper hops up the right-hand side, looking to move toward the main base. Hopping up over here as well, but deciding to hop back down again. Prism very much so still on its way as the blink continues in. The Stalker around the top. And the Banshee on the bottom side going to float right on out to the far left side of the map as well. So away we go with that, moving along. Nexus coming into place. And the Stalker going to be there to once again turn this Reaper around and get a few more shots off. Stalker's head down. Banshee shows up. The observer's about to spawn, so we have 3, 4 probes pretty quickly. Just 3, actually. And the Banshee's dead, no? Oh, you just don't reach it there. Alright, well now you've got the Stalkers arriving on the other side. Tank will have to set up defensively. We do have Banshee number 2 going up the right side of the map, so that's going to go up the right. And that's why that Banshee on the left staying alive is so nice, because it keeps one of the observers pinned there a little bit, so potentially gives you options that you might not have seen otherwise. Keeper goes down, Clem gets supply blocked, the Banshee's still coming through the top. He's going to be heading toward this third base as the probe comes over, puts the battery into position. And the Banshee going to start going after a couple of those probes straight away. So 2 probes going down. Again, +1 Stimpack combat shield coming about as well. We'll see the Banshee into the main. So we can start turning onto a couple more of these probes. And charge coming up. Probes on the battery on the way up. Stimpack combat shield and +1 all building. And our Stalkers here already going to go after the depot, taking that down. Fire going to start fighting. Tank shots firing as well. A couple of units going down in return. Doing everything we can to keep this up as the charge continues through. The probes will produce, and our Stalkers gather with the Prism here on the 6 o'clock. So now you've got 2 Banshees pinned by Stalkers, but these are 2 Banshees that are keeping 4 Stalkers at home. So that's definitely a win in Clem's eyes. Those Banshees are paying for themselves by keeping those units there, and he obviously got some kills off them as well. So he got some kills, now he's keeping the Stalkers back. It's not like the Banshees died and the Stalkers came across here as we live the medevac drop. Clem will try and survive without it. I mean, we're close to upgrades, I think he's going to be alright. This medevac comes around the bottom. Ideally, MaxPax does not find that medevac. If those Stalkers find the medevac, that would be a disaster. The Prism is running away right now. Is actually going to be perfectly set up to spot the medevac. That's crazy. As Clem, I mean, he's going to be hunted by Stalkers, but the Stalkers don't really go to really cut off the medevac. At least now you know it's coming, though, as MaxPax, right? As Clem starts to move out with the rest of his army. So getting MaxPax to move around and respond to certain things, and then taking advantage elsewhere. Remember, he does have both Banshees that can come back into play. If MaxPax moves those units, he will have the medevac that can maybe support this Banshee coming back into the natural as well, for example. There we go, starts to unload here. MaxPax does not have really much in position, as though he just thought that drop turned around or something. Start a fire. There's that Banshee coming back in. Like I say, it takes a shot or 2, but buys a little bit more time for the Marines. The Zealots come to the natural, where Clem is just going to lift up and back away, but that means way less Zealots on this side of the map, where Clem is now pushing towards the ramp. Of course, force fields available. Clem should be careful about those. Guardian shield was already set up. There's the force fields, but honestly, not the best. Catches 1 Marauder maybe with those force fields. Felt like that was maybe meant to be more as the Marines drop back into the natural. They're going to get 2 Stalker kills as the battery's out of energy. That will be the end of them, but reinforcements on the right side, and Clem is still set up and still pushing for more. The Banshee just now going down in the background there as well as we continue to press through. There's an Immortal tech-wise. We're close to seeing the Colossus. A couple of Widowmines now coming into play after some of the Zealots. In fact, that's a lot of Zealots, and I think Clem will end up being the one pushed away on this attack. He will not succeed. And MaxPax finds a defense. I wasn't convinced it was going to come in the form of the Colossus, but then the Zealot count started to look a whole lot better. And so the Zealots were the answer. And Clem does turn away from this for the moment. Medevacs, Marines, Widowmine still all building. Seeing this Medevac boosting through the south at the moment. Again, next is Colossus, with that extended thermal lance coming through as well. And these few Stalkers of MaxPax making their way across. Clem is just rallying units again right now, but I'm not sure if just rallying units against a guy that had the Zealots to shut you down before is really going to become your answer, so I guess let's see as we step up. A couple Stalkers already being chased. There goes 1 Stalker even going down already. Marine peels off over to the left side again, extended thermal lance. The Colossus and Zealots building for the moment. That Zealot down. On the right-hand side is going to be the Prism moving through. A couple of Zealots dropping off into this mineral line. Our Nexus going to get jumped on. That's a cancel. Now we're going to turn on to the sentries. Guardian Shield disappears. MaxPax doesn't have enough protection here, so we lose the Colossus. Stalker's blink, but it's an empty medevac that goes down. The full one just behind the one that was targeted. Could have been disastrous for Clem, losing the extra 10 supply there. Maybe this goes very badly for you, as now the Stalkers blink again. Clem will make one more getaway, knowing the Stalkers can't blink after those medevacs. Zealots at the same time enter Clem's third, and there's a lot of hurt SCVs here, so he pulls the SCVs instantly, and I think that's necessary. There's a lot of just low HP workers that would have died so fast, and the last thing you want is to let those workers die. He needs to keep the economy up, right? It's not like he's playing from a rich position. He's already lost 12 SCVs recently as well, so... yeah, he ain't rich. Clem could definitely do with keeping as much going as possible as he resaturates the gas. He's actually oversaturated on the natural and third. No sign of base 4. Are we just going to go on 3 bases? I mean, right now, the longer you go without building a 4th base, the worse I feel like this, you're making this for yourself, basically. So, Medevacs thought they could come through, but the answer is no, not quite yet. Get rid of one of those medevacs too, so one of the drop threats from Clem is taken out again as MaxPax, I think, is putting him into a very difficult spot. Still going to Colossus coming to the center, medevac up to the top side, Dark Shrine about to finish, +2 attack and +1 armor coming in. Up towards the ramp. What am I going to be burrowed on it? Observer goes down. Bio going to get it. Army splits apart a little bit. Again, the medevac still up on the top side. Undermine shoots a little bit of splash on the Stalkers. Bio presses up, but the Stalkers going down. And chase back there for a few moments as again the Ghost, the Viking. Just the tech units in general coming out from Clem, but MaxPax taking a 4th base. Sorry, a 5th base, so Clem really, his 4th base got to get up and online. He's got to protect this, but now he's going to have DTs running into his mineral lines too, so that's a problem for him. MaxPax is getting into a very comfortable spot where he's going to be the one that dictates a lot of this pressure that's going on. He can put himself in some very good positions over these next few minutes of the game. Bioforce out in the center trying to push back, but yeah, the DT gets 10 SCVs. The cleanup here as the Prism goes down the main base. Still got to deal with those Zealots, though. The SCVs around is apparently the best answer Clem has is staying busy on the map because he wants to stay active against the rest of this force. Let the Widowmines pick away some of the shields here and let the Zealots start to melt. As soon as the Zealots are going down, MaxPax is like, nope, you're not getting my expensive units. I can replace Zealots. Everything else is a little bit tougher to get a hold of again. So he does a very smart thing in terms of just pulling back when the Zealots are gone. Clem is trying to capitalize just with what he's got, but as new Zealots show up, it's going to be difficult. We do get 2 Colossus, though, and so some of the splash damage will leave this game. We're getting closer and closer to this almost just being a Zealot Stalker army, which is far, far, far away from what you want it to be. Disruptors joining up together now as well. Clem did not have the best time against Disruptors in the quarterfinals. Playing against Showtime, there was some pretty nasty Disruptor shots that Clem had to weather to kind of see it through to the next stage. There's a big round of Zealots warping in on the frontier from MaxPax, so Zealots going to join the fray almost immediately. Zealots can charge up. The Bioforce pulls back. EMP trying to come down. Stalkers and Zealots hunting. Disruptor shot going to land for a few Marauders. The Zealots are still charging forward. The Vikings going to be there. Clem does not have enough to sustain. The inevitable has happened, which was that MaxPax was going to win this game. The last fear, as we are going to have ourselves in the bottom left-hand corner. The Blue Protoss player taking the 1-0 lead is MaxPax. Top right, our red Terran is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. Two gases on the way in from the main base. Just going to get that started. As once again, Clem opting for the gas-heavier opening to potentially give him a little bit more pressure on the map in those early stages. So Clem will set up with that. The probe is trying to make life a little difficult for a few moments. Actually got the depot down, which will keep the probe out for any further harassment as Clem will put down the factory, puts under position. So that factory is going to get put into place. Probe of MaxPax will pull away from the upper right hand side, and again Reaper about to finish, factory coming through. Away we go. Now the Pro Bowl's back home. We do see the Reaper about to show up, so let's see what Clem can do with said Reaper. Heading into this natural and starting to ping away at a few of these bits and pieces. The Adept shades about. The Reaper will take a few more shots, getting turned the other direction. Getting pushed out of here toward the center of the map for the moment. So Reaper getting pushed to the middle. Again, Twilight Council coming through. Nexus is about to complete. The Warp Gate still building as well. Moves back over to the base here. Fire up a few shots. Just going to be seeing the Adept continuing around. We'll just be seeing the Shade continuing up as the Reaper comes over and gets taken out, and that will be the end of it. Cyclone. Marines and a medevac on the way against someone who is going for an extra gate and then tech into the robo facility after. Let's have to pull back and settle in for a few moments. I think on the way up. Sorry, I just missed the Twilight Council. My bad. I think I just saw the robo starting up and the gate being done, and I completely missed the Twilight at some point of that. So he did go Twilight. It's actually very normal. Yeah, I'm going to have the Cyclone anyways, and we'll try and put some pressure on with this right now. Cyclone stepping up. Stalkers have to pull back already. Again, the blink is currently about halfway done right now, so just continuing with that upgrade that will, typically define MaxPax's early game is usually very good for him. Tank can drop off as well, though. Clem used this exact same push against Showtime on this map. Tank is going to go down very soon here. The few probes are going to do a little bit of themselves. Stalker's in some trouble. Was it only against Showtime? Might have been against Arcfire that he did this, and Arcfire just kind of died. Immortal is very close to being done. We're going to have a Viking here very soon. This is pretty much all there is, but the Immortal popping should be a big saving grace, as we do see Clem's focus on the pylon. Going to depower the gateway. Yeah, the thing is right now, the Viking does a lot of damage too, and there's not a lot to really get rid of the Viking. I mean, the Immortal shots will do very well against it, but it does so much before it gets targeted down. As the medevac gets shot down as well. Clem loses everything, but he kills 11 probes after killing a majority of the army as well. Hard to disagree with the concept that he has succeeded with what he was looking for in this, because that was a lot of probes going down in the end. Two Stalkers still chase. I'm going to go after those Marines. Tank on the high ground will blast, and the Stalkers have no choice but to turn away from this one and fall back. And away they go. So probe just gathering. Have ourselves a few units moving about again. Hold up command already taking some shots. Siege tanks trying to press a little bit further forward. The Viking goes down. The tanks will siege. Marines still stepping through and going after the Immortal, going after the Stalkers. SCVs pulling across as well. SCV still surrounding, and that is going to be the Immortal going down. So the Immortal falls, the Stalker's pulling through. It's a lot more shots. 7 SCVs going down as Clem is kind of scrambling together a defense to try and be alive in this. Probably not what we... I mean, I guess this happens, right, sometimes when you go for those attacks, and I really felt Clem did well, but obviously not well enough for losing absolutely everything that he lost. MaxPax able to come through, get 10 probes of his own killed off in this game now, and that does a lot of the work that Clem did across the map. Also, Clem did it a little bit earlier. Clem is also still in trouble here with the Stalkers lingering outside of his base. It's always going to be the option that they come back in and potentially find a little bit more. Liberator sieges, probes falling, and Nexus probes similarly all coming up. The Stalker's just going to get underneath, the Lib gets turned around. Going to have to come back through the bottom side now instead. Stalker's going to get that, and that Liberator does get chased all the way out of here. Except our Liberator does go running. Forge probes coming through, the Liberator tank and Marines all gathering as well. Just going to be seeing these Stalkers continue to gather up. A couple more Stalkers are going to get warped in. And SCVs will surround that Liberator, repair it up. Marines and tanks are going to step up this ramp. For his own, taking a few more shots. Stalker's going to get that Liberator, goes down at the Liberator. It's just going to get shot out, and Clem says GG. He's going to tap out right here and now, and MaxPax are going to take the 2-0 in the semifinals, advancing into the grand final.